Hello and welcome back to Frank's School. So now what? I have finished punctuation. What's coming now in this year, which I continue to plan as an entire school year for ninth graders in theory who have had my course last year. Now what? Well, this week, one of the things that I have given up on is the Song of Marion's Daughter. That's going to have to wait for next year. To add to that, I may do something more with that. Now and then I've referred to them as far as taking them up as a single topic that I delve into. I don't know about this year, probably not. But I will add, tomorrow I'm going to begin to explain about planning a trip to Europe. I plan to go to Europe in May. I think I'll leave May 13th. And I thought that I would take you through this process that I go through when I plan a trip to Europe. So that will really begin tomorrow. Then I want to take about a week's time to deal with class vocabulary. That's kind of a ritualistic thing with the study of words. I want to try that one more time. I sort of felt that it failed last year. I showed it last year, but there was little interest. Then for about 6 weeks, maybe not quite that long, I want to try to teach English speakers to love German. I thought, well, I'll teach German, and I hope I do teach some German. But more important than that, I would like to teach English speakers to love German. I think they should, but they probably don't know. And then a film. There is one more film that I would like to guide you through before I go to Europe. When I come back from Europe, then I think I will probably return to the neighbor's barn and the beast. Because by then the weather will be nice. I'll want to be outside. So, why travel? Why do this anyway? It is so hard. It is so uncomfortable. Sometimes it's dangerous. It's expensive. Why do that? You can hear my wife talking up there on the phone. Why travel? Why do it? And the answer to that, as far as I'm concerned, is to learn. It's not necessarily to have a good time, unless you love to learn. And then if you plan it well, or almost even if you don't plan it well, when you travel, you learn. And you can learn a lot. In my tour d'Europe, which I guess is off camera now, I learned so much. So I'll explain, maybe not so much about that. There was a quote from Shakespeare that came to mind, though, from The Taming of the Shrew, where at the beginning of it somebody says that he's gone out into the wide world. I think maybe his father told him he should. Not to stay at home where small experience grows. If you only stay at home, your experience doesn't grow as rapidly and as enormously as if you travel. Now, I'm a big fan of staying at home. I like to stay at home, but I like to learn. All right, why travel to Europe? Well, Mark Twain, I think, said, there was some quote by Mark Twain that said, nobody is really educated until they have traveled to Europe. Something like that. I never saw the exact quote. He was one of the first Americans to really popularize this idea of traveling to Europe. So many Americans, they want to travel. I've heard so often this statement, well, I want to see my own country before I see some other country. And the United States has amazing things. The Grand Canyon leaps to mind. But in Europe, you can see things that are so different. And you don't have to travel enormous distances to do it. So different and so old. I guess I'm not really prepared to answer that. But in any case, over the next 3 or 4 days, maybe the rest of this week, I will be talking about my plans and what I hope to do in this upcoming trip. It's not a tour. I may be traveling by myself. And and explaining to you how you should go about doing it if you want to sometime try to plan a trip to Europe. All right, that will basically begin tomorrow. See you then.